Hey guys, this is Priven with a Warhammer 40k battle report. I play 40k as well as fantasy, for those that y'all don't know, and I play the Orks, and played a 2,000 point game against the Black Templars, and I actually have the Black Templar player here with me. His name is Wolfking.
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, neither of us have really played 40k. It's been probably about a good year since I've actually played 40k. And how long has it been since you played?
I don't know, but I had to buy the new codex before we could actually play.
Okay, so it's definitely been probably longer than a year. Do you like the new codex?
I do. I like how everything's kind of in the same book. I've got Black Templar in there, but I did lose a lot of traits with High Marshal Halberic and just with the Black Templars in general that I had in the previous Black Templar codex.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think they made a few stuff cheaper, but overall it's, like with most...
more expensive.
Yeah, more expensive. Like with most codexes, there's good and bad things. I will also state that I only have one mic right now, so basically it might be a little harder for you to hear Wolfking, so basically if that's a little bit harder, just kind of turn up your volume a little bit so you can hear him. But anyway, we played a 2,000 point battle, and overall I really don't like 6th edition in Warhammer 40k. Obviously y'all have probably heard by now that they pulled it off the shelves, and 7th edition, or 6.5, whichever you want to believe, is coming out May 24th. So I'm definitely excited about that, and I'm definitely excited about the Orks getting a new codex, hopefully sometime this summer.
I'm not.
Well, I am. Alright, so this is the battlefield that we did. We did the Vanguard deployment. Overall, I really like the Vanguard deployment being an assault army, because in many situations you can really be really close to the enemy. As a Space Marine player, do you like Vanguard deployment?
Yes and no. It really depends on the army that I have set up. The one that I chose did not work well for me in the situation because I had a lot of vehicles.
I had a lot of vehicles. Yeah, we're going to get into the list in a minute, but pretty much every building that you see here, even the pink little structure there, we decided that those were ruins. We were going to do kind of mysterious building. Me being a fantasy player, I like mysterious terrain, but I think we just we're kind of trying to speed things along. It was pretty late at night. I think we actually got started around, 11 at night? Yeah, it was about 11. We knew it was going to be a 2,000 point game, so basically, we just kind of wanted to get right into it. It's also, since neither of us have played 40k in so long, we both forgot to do Warlord traits, which I think really hurt you more than it hurt me, because because the Space Marines, they have new Warlord traits in their codex. Like, I think you have orbital bombardment and some crazy stuff like that, but
that would have been useful.
Yeah, it would have been useful. But in fantasy, they don't have that, so it didn't dawn on the door of my brain, and I didn't remind him, and I didn't take it. So, yeah, I think we did a lot of stuff wrong. Maybe, I don't want to say a lot of stuff, but probably did some stuff wrong in this, and I apologize, and feel free to comment and let us know. Don't make us cry, though. But really, overall, I think that we mostly played it right, but it doesn't really matter anyway, since 6th edition's getting rid of, so... Basically, this is the other view of the battlefield. So right there you have 2 ruins, little sandbag deployment thing. Yeah, like a little pillbox. So basically, at this point, we weren't really sure who was going to get what side. As an Orc player, I didn't really care, because I'm just going to run up and stab you and chop you up. So,
right.
Yep. Yeah. Alright, this is a view from the middle, so basically no man's land right there. And oh yeah, this is Purge the Alien. I'm not sure that I said that earlier. So basically, we were just doing kill points, so there was no objectives. So once again, I think it kind of went in my favor. Just kill points. All right, so basically, Wolfking's going to kind of go over his Black Templar force. I think those are your Terminators, right?
Yep, I had 6 Terminators. I had one guy had a assault rifle, or was it a heavy flamer? I can't remember. Let's see, it was a...
May I get your list? Look.
It was a heavy flamer.
Okay.
And each of them had chain fists, and then 4 of them had a storm bolter. And then my sergeant, he had a power sword and a storm bolter.
Okay. Did you? I think you put them in the Land Raider, right?
Yeah, they were in a Land Raider Crusader, which had hurricane bolters on each side, had a frag assault launcher, had twin-linked assault cannons, extra armor, a hunter killer missile, a storm bolter, and a multi-melta.
Oh, gosh, a lot of stuff. And then right there below the Terminators, I think those were your Crusaders. Is that right? Is that what they're called?
Yes, they are Crusaders. Basically, they were meant to be close combat to try and slow your forces down a bit and stop them in the middle. Because once, I guess they're kind of were being used as cannon fodder, or attempted to be used as cannon fodder, just so that I can move some forces up and try and do some damage to you, but that didn't work out at all.
Yeah, as we'll see later. I really felt sorry for the Crusader squad. Also, some of your models are starting to be painted, but I know you haven't really played them all, so you haven't really kind of been painting or working on them. Are you having someone else paint them, or are you planning to do it?
I'm planning on having someone else paint them because I have shaky hands, so I'm terrible at painting.
Well, good enough for me. All right, over here you had the drop pod, I believe, with the Venerable Dreadnought. Is that right?
Yes, it was a Venerable Dreadnought, and he had an assault cannon, I believe.
And I knew he had a heavy flamer. I remember that.
Yeah, he had a heavy flamer, an assault cannon, and a power fist, and as well as extra armor.
Okay. Venerable Dreadnought allows you, I believe, to re-roll the penetration chart,
yes,
right, in a vehicle. So, what made you take the Venerable Dreadnought? Why didn't you take an Ironclad that's armor 13 in the front?
Well, honestly, I chose the Venerable because I don't like proxying. I just think it's kind of cheap.
Okay. You're making me feel bad because I did some proxying in this game, which I think you kind of give me a hard time about at the end after you saw what happened. We'll get to my list in a second, but I respect that. So pretty much, drop pod with the Venerable Dreadnought in it. I think Dreadnoughts are really nice. I like them a lot. So.
Oh, the drop pod had the Deathwind missile launcher.
Deathwind missile launcher. Okay, so don't like that.
Useless.
Well, it happens.
As well as many of my other units.
All right, up here,
Tactical squad.
Tactical squad that was deployed in that building there. What did they have?
Well, really just had normal bolters, and then one guy had a last cannon, another one had a melt-a-gun.
Okay, melt-a-gun, last cannon. Okay, and then some of them are mixed and matched because I think you got some of them in a trade, or one guy quit and you picked them up, right?
The ones that were painted by somebody else, a friend of mine, are the bottom left, the ones that actually look good.
Okay. I believe that's who you're getting to paint your army, right?
Yes.
And they will definitely look better than my orcs when they're done. All right, and there is the Land Raider there, and what is that to the left of the Land Raider?
Rhino, and that has the Crusader squad in it. I forgot to mention the Crusader squad also has a Sword Brother, which is basically a Terminator, I believe, and he had a power maul, melta bombs, and a bolt gun.
Okay, but they're real good in close combat. That's what they're supposed to be, right?
Supposed to be. Yes.
They get 2 attacks base, I believe.
Two attacks, and he had strength 6.
Okay, very cool. And of course, the Land Raider. I know that a lot of tournament players think Land Raiders are a waste of points. I think it's armor 14 all around with 4 hull points. I think they can be quite useful. If you're playing against Tower Eldar, you can get rid of them real easily. But I think against Orks, it's kind of hard for me to deal with.
Help me out. I did some damage to you a bit with it, so.
Yeah, so it kind of worked out for you. Alright, and here, I believe, is your command squad with the High Marshal of the Black Templar, so a special character, and I believe that's the actual model, right? The silver one?
Yes, that's High Marshal Helbrick. That is a metal model. And he was a warlord, so he got the Imperium sword. I do not remember what that did, but it was very nice. And he had just a Combi Melta, and he had Iron Halo, which basically gives him a 5-up or 6-up invulnerability save.
I think it was 4-up.
Yeah,
Iron Halo's 4-up, yeah.
Yeah, and he had Sword of the High Marshal, which gave him a Strength of the User and AP 3.
Okay. And then, what was the thing that gave him a D3 plus attacks on the charge? Was that that sword?
I think that's Legacy of the Dorn, which is part of
his special rules?
His special rule for the Sword of the High Marshal.
Okay. He was pretty nasty. And then, tell me about the command squad.
The command squad had 3 just normal soldiers,
mm-hmm.
and they each had a chain sword, melta bombs, and just normal power armor, and they had 3 storm bolters actually, as well as the chain swords, and then they had a standard of the Emperor Ascendant, which I can't remember what that did. Well. In any case, they had an apothecary as well with them.
So they got Feel No Pain?
Yeah, got Feel No Pain.
Okay.
And then it had a company champion, which had a combat shield and a power sword.
Okay. Was there but I think I maybe asked you this after we played, but just for our audience, was there? Do you think it was a mistake not to put them in any sort of vehicle and just kind of leave them out, kind of on their own?
Yes, I do regret not putting them in a vehicle, but as you'll see later on, there was really no point of putting them in a vehicle.
Well, that's true. All right. And then, of course, and I apologize for this picture. This guy was camera shy, and you made fun of my camera. Actually, I think I have a really nice camera. It was free, so.
Actually, he censored. The Emperor did not want people to see what he.
Oh, the Emperor didn't want me to see his true identity. So, but yeah, so this was the Black Templar champion,
Yeah,
right?
The Emperor's champion. He has the black sword and the armor of faith, and basically they call him the Slayer of Champions because whenever he gets in a battle with another squad, and he's an independent character, meaning he does not join any squad, he cannot. He has to challenge
Character.
the head of that squad, if it's a sergeant or whatever, or it's the warlord.
Yes.
He has to challenge them.
Okay. So he's supposed to be pretty good in challenges. Okay. Alright, so this is the Black Templar deployment. So basically, I believe you won the roll-off, so you got that side. Basically, the drop pod and the dreadnought are in reserve. The Crusader squad and the Terminators are off to the side, because the Terminators are in the Land Raider and the Crusader squad's in that Rhino. Also to the left is a Razorback with a las cannon on top of it, right? I don't know if we got that. And then you have the tactical squad in the building, and then basically you have the High Marshal and the command squad behind that middle building that you can't see, so they're completely out of line of sight. What made you choose this side instead of the other?
I was looking for cover because of your looters.
Yeah, okay.
And I was trying to protect my vehicles and the gang, but it proved to be pointless because they were so far away anyways that your looters were able to hit them as they were coming toward you.
Yeah.
So I should have moved them closer to my line. But yeah, so I think that was one big mistake of mine, and just actually using vehicles in general was a big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, looters are very good. I think they're one of the best orc units I have. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think that the other side would have been a little bit better for you in terms of hiding your vehicles, but I mean, if you moved them closer, I think right at the start of the board, I think you were out just shy of 48 inches, so I don't think I could hit you until you started moving up, which, we'll see as the game gets started. But yeah, this is Black Templar deployment. Alrighty, we're finally to the orcs. So basically, my orcs, there's my looters right there, 10 of them up in that building. Love looters, they have 48 inches, their guns are strength 7 and AP 4. I roll a D3 to see how many shots they get, so you got that orc randomness, so I might have 30 shots, I might 20 shots, I might have 10. Ballistic skill 5 though, so it's kind of a bit hard to hit anything, but I always seem to get a lot of 5 or 6s. Below I brought 3 labas. I love labas, they're great, they're real cheap, and each of them, think 3 ammo runs, so I can reroll the scatter if I need to. And then my orc truck was being proxied as a looted wagon, and it had armor plates, basically an ARD case, so it wasn't open-topped, and it had a boom gun on top. I actually had a looted wagon in the car, but I just didn't want to go get it, so I just decided to use my truck. Alright, basically in the middle, 30 Orc Boy Squad with, basically, the Knob has a Power Claw, Boss Pole, Heavy Armor. I played, over the years, we've played several games, me and Wolf King here, with our Orcs and our Black Templars. And the little guy, I kind of named my Orcs because I'm really into the fluff, and I've played with these guys a long time. The Knob's name is Nobby, and the guy behind him with the knife kind of hiding behind his back is called Stabby. I believe he actually killed one of your Terminators one time in our game, right?
Yes, you had a small squad of orcs attacking a single Terminator. Now, I killed off almost all the orcs except for that one, and I had a feeling in the Force that I was going to roll bad.
Yeah.
and it was just Stabby versus my Terminator, and I rolled it. I'm like, this is gonna be bad. I'm going to get a 1. I rolled it, and boom, got a 1. So
Yep.
he died.
So basically, ever since then, every time we do play, he always says it's the reason the Space Marines are invading the planet or whatever is to kill this one orc. I believe he's only actually died one time in the games that we've played. He's always surviving. I always joke that he's always in the back, plotting to kill Nobby and become the Knob and take over. Just a little fluff background of my army. So basically, those are my orc boys. The big shooters, they just don't have big shooters. They just have Slugger and Choppas. So basically, they're all melee. They're going to get a lot of attacks on the Furious Charge if I can get them there. So that's my orc boys. On the other side of the table, more Ludas. So basically, I have 20 total on the table, and this is the other group of 10 right here. So basically, I split them up because basically, he's going to have to focus at least on one of them to make them rout. He only has to kill at least 2 or 3 to force me to make a leadership test. But granted, these are...
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, you just have to kill at least 2 or 3, and, I take a leadership test, and they're leadership 7, so they're eventually going to run away. That's kind of how you deal with them. So, but yeah.
Well, now that I know that, I'll definitely be doing some more damage to them.
A very noob mistake. Like I said, we both haven't played in a long time. But they still had a 4-up cover save because, I said these were ruins, so... And over down here is another looted wagon. It's kitted out the same way as the other looted wagon. Boom gun, Ard case, grot riggers in case it got disabled. And then there is the battle wagon to the left. Basically, it also has a death roller on it, armor plates, grot riggers, and my war boss right there is being proxied as Grazgul. Normally, I've never really used Gazgul Thraka much. I kind of want to get the model myself, but I kind of felt that if he was going to use a special character, I kind of need to bring a special character of my own, or else I wouldn't have a chance. And there are 10 Mega Knobs in that battle wagon. And, I have the knobs, I just don't have the Mega Knobs. I refuse to pay $20 a model. So hopefully when my new Orc Codex comes out, I'll be able to actually get Mega Knobs in a box set. But yeah, that was my proxies, pretty much. The Mega Knobs and my war boss as Gazgul.
Which I actually thought that was quite appropriate because my hero, High Marshal Helbrick, his arch nemesis is actually Grazgul?
Yeah, Gazgul Thraka.
Gazgul.
Yeah.
That is his arch nemesis, and according to my lore, he's still going across the universe seeking out Gazgul to kill him.
Yeah, it's a very fluff-oriented game, technically, so... Alright, and I also had 5 Death Copters that were going to be outflanking, so they were in the reserve. Basically, they just had twin-linked rocket launchers. I would really love to give them buzzsaws, but that just would have made them too expensive. Didn't have the points for it. So, but, Strength 8, AP 3, so they could kill some Space Marines. I could glance his Land Raider to death, but the odds of that happening very unlikely. But take out his Predator, his Rhino, Razorback, and kill some Space Marines from a distance. That's why I took him. And I have Captain Swog, a Orc Docajet that has an extra big Super Shooter, and he's an ace. Basically, according to my fluff in my army, Captain Swog is kind of his own war boss, kind of leads his own band of orcs, and basically my war boss has hired him to kind of help out. So that's why he's got the purple orc symbol there. So yeah, I love that plane. Got the oil streaks going on it. You can see some bullet holes. Took me a long time to paint. I think it looks really good. So. Alrighty, so basically deployed. Looters in the buildings, Labas below, looted wagons out of sight. Got 30 orc boys out in the middle. Really was kind of hoping you would just focus on that. But as we'll get to it, you kind of split your fire a little bit, and we'll kind of talk about that in a minute. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. And other view right there, vehicles. Alright, so Black Templar turn 1. So you basically kind of moved everything up a little bit, but I think you were kind of being cautious, weren't you?
I was trying to be very, very cautious because I was scared of your looters.
Yeah, do you think it would have been better if you just would have rushed up,
I considered that, but then I would have pretty much everything in your army shooting at me because you had the 3 lobbers.
Yeah, Labas.
Labas, and the building as well as that. Was that one other gun that you have in there? Ray gun or something?
No, they're all 3 Labas. One was a zap gun,
okay,
but
zap gun.
yeah, I was proxying that too.
Yeah. Okay, well, I was scared of those because those do a good amount of damage. I actually assumed that one was the zap gun.
Oh, okay. My apologies. All right. Yeah, Labas are only strength 5, small blast templates, so they technically couldn't hurt your vehicles. They really just hurt your infantry.
That's why I was being so cautious because of them.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, right here I think you fired every Hunter-Seeker missile that you had. Each one of your vehicles had one. And I'm not sure if we did this right. We kind of looked to see if I could get a cover save. I'm pretty sure I don't think the Hunter-Killer-Seeker missile needs line of sight. So basically I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. It's being guided, kind of similar to the Tau. But I still think I got a cover save, and you basically glanced me once, so you took off a whole point, and then I passed my 3 other saves, didn't I?
Actually, I penetrated the first time.
Oh, you penetrated.
And it was just, I think I rolled a 1.
Yeah, I couldn't shoot. Yeah, I couldn't shoot. But passed my 3 4-up saves, and you were pretty much out of missiles at that point, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely probably would have waited till I was out in the open.
I should have waited until you were out of cover.
Yeah.
That was dumb of me.
So yeah, just let us know if we did that wrong. Should I have gotten cover, or could he have even shot them if you couldn't even see the vehicle? So we weren't really sure about that. So you also had, I think your Predator actually killed one of the Ludas, and this is what I was afraid of.
Cannon, yes.
Yeah, from the last cannon on the Predator, basically melted its face off. I failed my cover save. I got a 2 right there. And this is what I was afraid of, because if you started killing these, I would have had to take a leadership test. More likely would have failed it, and they would have ran down the steps, and I couldn't shot with them next turn. So I was not. Yeah. Yep, that's what killed him. That stupid Predator tank.
That was amazing, actually.
And also, I think, the Space Marine with the lasgun actually killed one of my Lava crewmen. You started targeting my artillery, which, I got to have a 4-up cover save. I'm not sure if it was the wisest thing to shoot at. Probably should have. And typically, and I make this mistake too in 40k, pretty much I've learned you got to focus fire in one particular unit until it's completely gone. Do you think that you should have probably kept shooting at the Ludas?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, tell the boss he needs to be told that his Labas are under attack. Yep, there's the last gun that killed him. You kept shooting at him, actually. Basically passed another cover save. And basically, this is what it looks like at the end of Black Templar turn 1. You just kind of, in my opinion, you just moved into range of my Ludas.
I did nothing.
Yeah, you killed one Luda. You made it so that looted wagon couldn't shoot, and you did a wound to a Laba. But for the most part, I was okay with this.
I know you were.
I was okay with this. I was like, okay, so it's going to be my turn, and I'm going to deliver the pain. Alright, so looted wagons. We have don't press that special rule, which basically before anything else I have to roll a d6. If I get a 1, basically we have to move our maximum inches, and we can't move or shoot. And actually, ironically, I got a 1 on the vehicle that couldn't shoot anyway, so I was okay with that. So, it would have been really bad if it was the other one. That means both of them couldn't shoot, so it actually turned out in my favor, and it passed its dangerous terrain test, so it didn't take another whole point. So basically, I just moved forward with I moved forward with everything at this point. My looted wagon with the whole point off, it moved forward on its own because I pressed the button, apparently. The battle wagon moved forward, easily passed its dangerous terrain test with the death roller. The other looted wagon passed, went right through the ruins, and basically, you just see all these orcs ushering forward. And love that shot right there. It's coming from the Space Marine view. They're kind of zooming in to see the orcs. Were you more worried about my vehicles or that big blob?
I was more worried about your vehicles because I knew that my Terminators would do a good amount of damage to them, and also I had vehicles with lots of Storm Bolters and Assault Cannons and Hurricane Bolters that would do some good amount of damage to those guys. So I was more worried about the big guns.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you this now since we're, kind of reviewing the battle report. Pretty much, typically, big squad of orc boys it is my cannon fodder, essentially. I'd rather you shoot at them than shooting at my looted wagons. And essentially the same thing with my looters. I'd rather you shoot at my looters than at my vehicles, even though I really love my looters. Here's an orc view of the stinky humans hiding up in the ruins. So, I mean, at this point, I wasn't really sure how this was going to go. Basically, when I had my shooting phase, kind of had a little bit more confidence. And speaking of shooting phase, my Ludas actually blew up the Razorback.
Yep.
I think I got like 30 shots off on it.
Yep.
I got like a 5 or 6, and and I think you even forgot that you had smoke launchers, or you could pop smoke, right?
Yeah, I always forget about your smoke launchers.
Yeah.
Never forget about your smoke launchers.
So yeah, they give you a 4-up cover save. I think you pop them at the end of the movement phase, or it's before. Yeah. So yeah, and then I think it would have helped, but I really don't think it would have helped you anyway, because I think I had like 8 hits, because you're only armor 11, right? And I'm strength 7, so
I think it's either 11 or 12.
So 4 to glance, 5 to 6 pin with 30 shots. Yeah, the poor little Razorback didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, it's 11.
I also took out your Predator with the second Ludus squad.
The other most useless thing in my army, because it always dies in the first turn.
Yeah, his Predator, he bought it like a year or two ago, and he's played with it several times. It's always died on the top of turn 1. I think the very first time it died, we were playing with Mysterious Terrain, and a booby trap went off, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a booby trap, and it was the first time I just got done building it. I sort of painted it, and I put it on the battlefield. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm like going to see how powerful this thing is. On my turn, it blows up.
Yep, it blows up to the booby trap. So this thing's always kind of let him down, and I got 4 penetrations, as you can see with the 6s right there. It didn't explode, however, so I wrecked it. So it flipped over. My Labas also fire. They completely clear up the top level of the Space Marine squad. Yeah, so at this point, the Black Templars, they've lost their Razorback, they've lost the Predator, and even the Labas are just wrecking you. Yeah. Were you wanting to quit at this point?
I was seeing my future at this point. That was going to end. It was going to end badly for me.
Yeah. Basically, tactical squad. They lost. They had to take a leadership test. He got a 10. They failed. They hopped down the building. Not a big deal. I mean, they're going to reform their Space Marines. That rule, they shall know no fear. Basically, but that building's cleared. My orcs are like, the Humies left. My 30 orc boy squad. I was going to kind of send them in that direction, because I honestly didn't expect to kill your Predator and your Razorback in the first turn. I thought it was going to be. I mean, I haven't rolled that well in my Ludas in a very long time. So
I've never seen that. It's always been really good.
Yeah. Well, the dice hate you, so
yeah. As we'll see later.
Yeah, his dice rolls are atrocious. So, all right, so this is how it's looking like at the end of turn 1. Basically, loving it. We have ruined Space Marine vehicles. We have Space Marines running. It's just and that complete that left flank. It's just yeah. 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 Do you have anything to add about basically the end of my orc turn 1 compared to your turn 1?
I have nothing else to say. Nothing nice, at least.
Yeah, nothing nice at least. Yeah, we don't know if young children watch my videos, so we'll keep it PG-13. But yeah, needless to say, I was feeling sorry for you at this point, and as you can tell from the picture, it was drawing a crowd of people. I mean,
yeah,
so
there's quite a few people coming up and watching me die.
Yeah, so I mean, other people were feeling sorry for him, but then again, I hate Space Marines, so I have a friend that plays Tau. He hates Space Marines as well, so I think everyone but you was having a good time.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so basically he rolled for his drop pod, which, in my opinion, besides my Luda's doing so well, I think this really almost kind of cost you the game at this point, because you needed this.
Really hurted. I mean, of course, I rolled a 1, as you can see in the photo.
Yeah.
Of course.
It could have been a 2 and be like, okay, but it's kind of almost mocking you at this point, the dice.
When did I roll those 4 1s and the 2 2s? Was that when you were hitting my command squad, or was that when you were hitting my...
Well, we'll get to that. We don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, basically, this is not the first dice horrible roll. But needless to say, his Dreadnought didn't come in. He moves up with his Land Raider at this point, and you got the Rhino with the Crusader squad. I actually thought this was pretty smart, because you're using your Land Raider, basically 14 armor. You're hiding the vehicle. I can't shoot it with my looters yet. So yeah, I mean, I thought this was pretty smart, and I think you were trying to position, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were trying to get your Rhino close enough, unload the Crusader squad, and go to town on the Orc Boy squad. Was that your strategy?
Yep, I was trying to do that and hold them back, just keep them busy.
Yeah.
And so they don't sneak up on anything and try to blow anything up or kill anyone. and then I was gonna move my Rhino forward, or sorry, my Crusader forward, and try to do some damage on vehicles and unload my Terminators.
Yeah. I mean, good strategy. Like I said, 14 armor all around. A lot of people think it's a big. Oops, excuse me. A lot of people think it's a big point sink, but I think they're good. I like Land Raiders. So I wish I could have an armor 14 vehicle all the way around. You know, my battle wagon's armor 14 at the front, but that's it. Alrighty, so you're also moving the command squad. You almost kind of got a Congo line going. Go right here. You know, basically, everyone follow the Land Raider. Now, your command squad was in range of my Ludas, I believe, but everything else was, I think, relatively safe. Basically, your Crusader opens up, and basically Hurricane Bolters, everything else on it, and looks like you killed like 8 or 9 orcs.
Yep. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, but I mean, they're orcs. We're fungus. We'll regrow. You know, we're already in the planet.
You are fungus.
Yeah, we're in the planet's soil.
Scum.
Yeah, we are. But we'll grow back and, you know, wait a couple 30, 40 years, and there'll be another orc invasion before no time. Alright, so this is the end of Black Templar turn 2, so he's still kind of lingering back a little bit. Unfortunately, his drop pod didn't come in with the Dreadnought. This time, he's closer. My looters have, new possible targets. Yeah, and then my looted wagons will hopefully do some serious damage. So basically, my movement phase, I move the battle wagon, the looted wagon up, and the other looted wagon, the blue one, that's the truck being proxied, I move it around a bit, and basically he's lying and waiting for basically a nice approach. At first, I thought his rhino was completely hidden, but on the looters on the right, in the very tall gray building, they could actually see it. So I was actually pleased about that. So basically, these looters, they get a target, and basically the guy is camera shy.
Yeah.
It's not the camera. It's just that guy. All the other pictures are fine. And basically, they try to shoot him, but basically he passes his invuln save. What's his invuln save anyway?
Let's see. Emperor, is it champion?
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, it's 4 up invuln save, but he has a 2 up armor save too. So I mean, that's what he made it easily. So the Emperor's definitely protecting him. Protecting him from the camera too. Alright, so the other looters are, screaming Daka Daka Daka, getting hyped up and prepared. And basically, I wreck your other rhino with the Crusader squad.
Yep.
This is growing great. So basically, the Crusader squad runs out, and they're so panicking they lose their arms. They leave them behind, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost them from the explosion.
Yeah, they're the armless Crusaders. I guess they're gonna kick me or something.
Yeah. Bite your buddy legs off.
Yeah, so like I said, don't really have too many mean comments. He's working on his army, give him some time. So they pile up, and my looted wagon, laying in wait. And boom, right on the Crusader squad. Basically, I think I couldn't have planned that better. Give myself a pat on the back for that one. And, I killed 5 of them outright. Strength 8, AP 3. You don't get your armor save. Unfortunately, we kind of looked through the codex. Black Templars used to have a 6 up invulnerability save, but we couldn't find it. So we assumed that they took it away. If they still have it, let us know. But he lost 5 of his Crusaders. And this is only turn 2. So, and yeah, I really feel sorry for the Space Marines. And basically, they fall back, they leap in the trench, and they rally around the Marshal, which is good. They were going to rally anyway, but fluff purposes, I like to think that they saw the Marshal and reformed in the trench. My other looted wagon, he's getting excited. There's always, he basically got the shoot. And I set my eyes on the command squad. And basically, strength 8, AP 3. He has a 4 up invuln, but, if I could kill some of your command squad, I was trying to get you to quit at this point. So, and you lost one of your command squad, and you lost your sword champion. So, what were you thinking of the battle at this point?
Well, you seen this photo, the Emperor is no longer censoring him because I guess he was ashamed of him. But this right here, I was not very surprised. I actually kind of wanted to put some text on here saying I'm useless above my champion because he always dies. He's never done anything useful in any of the games that I played with him. And you also took out my company champion as well. So I think at this point in the game, I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just lost.
Yeah.
Because I had no forces to move forward and take out your looters, so I knew that they were just going to decimate anything that tried to approach them.
Yeah. I mean, you had the Land Raider with the Terminators in it, but I still had Gazgul and the Mega Nobs.
Yeah.
And I think that was, a big factor. But, I got so caught up, basically so eager to get to the shooting phase, I actually forgot, or I'd like to say that they got lost chasing a flock of seagulls, probably. Captain Swag is known to do that, basically when he doesn't come in, but he took the Death Copters with him. And I actually forgot to roll for my reserves. Not like he really needed them, though.
No, he didn't need them at all.
Yeah, so basically, so they didn't come in on turn 2. And basically, this is how it's looking right now. At the end of Orc turn 2, basically, got Space Marines cowering in the trench, kind of hurt his command squad a little bit, and I blew up his Rhino. So, like, right now, I got 1, 2, 3 kill points, 4 with First Blood, and you haven't scored anything at the moment. Yeah, so it's basically 4-0 at Orc turn 2. Alright, so finally your Dreadnought comes in. Why did you put him right there behind that looted wagon?
I wanted to kill him so he doesn't flank my Terminators at all when they finally came out of the Crusader. And then I was going to take him and move him back into the building and take out your artillery and take out the looters that were in the building.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. And you also, the drop pod has that
Deathwind missile launcher. I was going to use that to try and pick off either your Orks that were nearby or the looters that were on top of the building. I'm pretty sure I shot at your looters on top of the building, but it didn't. Or your artillery. In any case, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I honestly really think, and I wasn't going to tell you during our game, but I think you were trying to take out my Labas with range, and that's not a good thing to do because they're toughness 7 and they got a 3-up armor save, so you really got to take out artillery with close combat. But I wasn't, I'm definitely going to exploit that mistake. But the looted wagon I felt was going to die with the Dreadnought right behind it. You moved up with your Crusader at this point. I think you were getting ready to pop the battle wagon. Yep. Yeah, you were. Your Terminators come out. You're surrounded it. So for the Emperor, indeed. And hopefully you're actually going to get a kill point, because you deserve something at this point.
I definitely deserve something.
Yeah. Your Crusader, though, fired at my looted wagon, I think with the multi-melta, and it missed, right there. So basically, so good strategy. You send the Terminators at the battle wagon, and the Land Raider was trying to take out the other looted wagon, but you still
hit a barn door from 2 feet away.
But you have a lot of other guns on it, which is basically what killed the looted wagon. So yeah, everyone clapped for the Black Templars that he actually got his first kill point, and it was kind of cute too. But I apologize. There's we're having some fun here. But so yeah, Crater blew up my looted wagon, and I was okay with this because it was a pity kill at this point. I think you needed something. Basically, the Dreadnought comes in, you shoot the autocannon at it, and you put 2, or is it the autocannon or assault cannon? What's the difference between that?
I don't think there's a difference.
Is there a difference between?
I couldn't even find it I couldn't find the autocannon in my book. All I have is assault cannon.
Yeah, I don't play Space Marine, so I don't know, and he hasn't played in forever. So it was autocannon or assault cannon. It was something. Hit armor 10, put 2 wounds on it. Not 2 wounds. Took 2 whole points off. I'm sorry, I'm using fantasy terms. It was assault cannon?
Yes,
okay, assault cannon. Alright. And then basically he uses the heavy flamer, burning righteous fire. And basically he finally got that one too. So at this point, at turn 3, he's taken out both my looted wagons, which I felt you needed to do. You can't really deal with that large blast template coming down on you every time.
Yeah. That was decimating.
Yeah. Your drop pods preparing the fire, knew that was going to happen. And I think you were targeting my Orc boy squad, actually. Was it the boys or the looters?
Well, if you look at the direction of the arrow for the artillery dice, what you call it, I think I was trying to hit your artillery down below, or is your looters?
Yeah.
It was one of them, but it flew off in that.
Yeah. Either way, he rolled an 11. It just flew off and didn't do anything.
I'm pretty sure it was the looters.
Okay. The looters. Okay.
Looters.
Basically, his Terminators charge my battle wagon. I get Overwatch. It's open topped. My Mega Knobs fire their rocket launchers. Get one through, and you rolled a 1. You know.
Of course.
Yep, a 1. So Terminator dies.
And I use your dice.
I used my dice, and he still got a 1 at this point because he was, he was going on strike with his dice. Battle wagon went boom. Basically, those are my knobs. I really think they're well painted. I like them. They're not Mega Knobs, like I said. I'm proxying. So so basically, he's gotten 3 kill points. By turn 3, which so you're starting to catch up a little bit at this point.
I was catching up, but I mean, it still wasn't going to pay out in the end, in my opinion, because of your looters. I was terrified.
Well, I mean, I'll be more worried about those Mega Knobs. So for gas school.
At this point, yes.
Yeah. So end of Black Templar turn 3. Basically, this is kind of good for me because my Mega Knobs will be able to assault his Terminators, more than likely rip them to shreds. Now, with my Orc boys, I kind of have a choice. I can go after the Venerable Dreadnought and tie it up and maybe have Nobby kill it with a Power Claw. Or even the Drop Pod. I make a mistake here that we're about to look at, but for the most part, I'd say Orcs are winning at this point.
Definitely.
Yeah. Alright, finally, the Orc Air Force arrives. Captain Swag arrives. Another reason why I love Vanguard deployment. Flyers can come in at really good positions for my deployment. And so basically, I'm looking at your Crusader squad at this point.
Yeah.
Crusader squad knows it. My Deathcopters also come in. They outflank. I basically rolled and got this side. So basically, I'm really trying to table you at this point. Just kill everything you have. And right there, I thought it was good because I could shoot at your High Marshal. And, maybe kill him, instant death him, because he's only toughness 4 and they're strength 8. But it turned out to be a mistake because I was thinking with the fantasy mindset, in 40k, you move 6 inches, and then you charge, where you roll 2 dice. In fantasy, you issue a charge at the start of the turn, and I was thinking with that in mind, and kind of moved them a little bit too close. But basically, the Orc boys move in. They're heading towards the Drop Pod and the Dreadnought. Wasn't really sure where I was going to go. You weren't really too worried about those boys, were you?
Not really, but there was just not enough forces, in my opinion, over there to handle them all. Because there were a lot. So,
yeah.
I just had my Dreadnought and I had my Drop Pod. That's all I had there.
Yeah, so, you only killed 6 or 9, so I still have well over around 18 or 20
Something
left.
Like that,
yeah. Plus with a Power Claw, so. Basically, close combat, that knob that fell over, he's not dead, it's just, he wouldn't stand up in the crater. So basically, I assaulted him, assaulted the Terminators, he got his Overwatch. Did you kill anybody with your Overwatch?
I wounded one person, I wounded one person.
Okay. Rocket results, basically... this is when I shot at him with my rockets. Okay, so I haven't assaulted yet, we're still in the shooting phase. So, I fired my rockets at you, and you passed all your 2-up armor saves.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so...
That's surprising.
Yeah, I was really expecting a 1 out of them, so... Ludus, preparing to shoot, of course. I just love them, they're so fun. Shoot at your Terminators with my Ludus. I get 4, 5, 6, 7... 6 or 7 wounds, and you pass all your armor saves again with Terminators. So, your dice are starting to heat up a bit. I have my Ludus shoot at his, and this is probably, Orc turn 3 shooting wasn't very good. I shot at his Drop Pod, and I didn't even glance it. Armor 12 on the Drop Pod, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't even get through, I think the highest, I got a 10. Felt like the dice were going back against me. My Labas fire at that tactical squad again. And they fail to pierce armor. So you're passing all your armor saves at this point.
I was very surprised, actually.
Very surprised. I think your dice knew that you were probably about to forfeit the game if stuff didn't start changing. So, my Lobbers even failed to do anything. Captain Swag, he's loving life. I called a Wog at the start of the shooting phase, so basically I get double the shots, I hit on 4s, they're twin link, strength 6, AP 4, so you still get your full armor, but, I'm wounding you on anything but 1s. And this is when I just completely wiped the Crusaders out, and to To be honest with you, I didn't tell you at the time we were playing. I really actually wanted you to get in those in close combat because as an orc player, you know, I like fighting stuff up close. So hopefully we'll play again, and maybe you can take 2 of the squads and actually, get them across the board alive.
I mean, they've done well for me in the past when using them in close combat because I'm pretty sure they get 2 attacks each.
Yeah.
So they did well. I wanted to use them in close combat. That's why I had them in the Rhino. I wanted to get them close and actually fight your orcs face to face. It'd be awesome. But unfortunately, they had a slight mechanical error.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would also give them like bolt gun or like a power or axe or something, so you can give them like additional hand weapon, and then they'll have 3 attacks instead of 2. I think.
Yeah, and the sergeant, or was a sword brother of that squad, he had a mole.
Okay.
Which gave him +2 strength. Which
that would have been useful in the challenge.
It was basically Thor.
Yeah. Alright, so Death Copters fire, you do your lookout, sir. Basically, the High Marshal, he pulled his own men in front of the way of the rockets. How dare he? Or did they leap in front of the rockets?
Their duty.
Oh, it's their duty. They leapt in front. Okay. Well, it kind of seemed very orcish there. Well,
that's their job. They're just going to get in front of it.
Exactly.
Protect their marshal.
Alrighty, so the overview right here, it looks like, due to the planes and the copters, it looks like this is my flank too. I mean, he literally has the Apothecary, another guy from his command squad, and he's got his High Marshal, the Terminators, your Crusader, your Drop Pod, and Dreadnought, and that's really all you got. Basically, we assault. This is where I think I made a mistake. I think I should have gone for his Dreadnought. Yeah, I really don't know what I was thinking, because my knob was in the back. It couldn't even participate in combat.
I didn't even know why you assaulted my drop pod.
I don't either. I honestly forgot. I think I forgot. This is where the fantasy kind of comes in. I thought like I would lock it up in combat, and yeah, it was a total noob mistake on my part, but at this point I think I could afford some noob mistakes, because I was so far ahead. But yeah, I don't know why I did it. Basically, Meganob's assault the Terminators. Really excited to see this battle. Yeah. The challenge, basically the Sergeant versus Grazgul, or the proxy for Grazgul. Amazing. I only got 2 attacks through, and you passed both your in-bone saves.
Now, I'm glad you got this photo, because that's like once in a lifetime for you get double 6s.
Yeah, it really is once in a lifetime. And the Emperor was definitely strong with that Sergeant, because Gazgul should have killed you.
He should have wrecked him.
Yeah, twice over, and it didn't. So, yeah. But this is the losses. You killed 2 Meganobs and pretty much wiped out the entire Terminator squad, but the Sergeant. And basically, you actually passed your leadership test. I don't think I got that on camera, but I think you rolled like a 3, or you rolled really good.
Yeah.
Your dice love rolling low, so they rolled.
Worked out in that case.
Yeah, in that case. And basically, the knobs crowd around, watch the challenge. And this is the end of Orc Turn 3. Basically, the boys are uselessly attacking the drop pod. Stupid, because you can't be tangled in combat with a vehicle. I just can't believe I did that. And then you have the Meganobs, watching the war boss fight the Sergeant. And, yeah, 9 planes and Death Copters. Alrighty, so Black Templar Turn 4. You preparing the charge of Death Copters at this point, I think. So. Yep. At this point, I think you were just like all in. I don't really care what happens. You just
basically,
yeah. You basically get in there. For your brothers, everybody killed. The High Marshal, screams his war cry, and they rush at the Death Copters. Overwatch, I shot at you. I think they all missed. Didn't do a wound. Goodbye, Death Copters. Combat rages on. You managed to put a wound on me, I believe. The High Marshal actually didn't do good. It was your other 2 that I think that did better.
Yeah, he had that sword, which allowed him to do a D3 roll to get add extra attacks, and he ended up with 7 attacks total, and didn't do diddly squat with it.
Mm-hmm.
My command squad ended up doing a wound on your Death Copter, I believe.
Yeah. And then, your command squad actually kills a Death Copter.
Marshall did wound.
And then
the 7 dice, he did 1 wound.
Okay.
And then my other guys
managed to kill it off. So that's good. I didn't do a single thing, so I lost combat by 2. So I'm on leadership 5. And yeah, that's what happens when you're that close to the board. Like I said, my fantasy was bleeding through into 40k, and this is a result of it. Gave you another kill point. Finally kill your sergeant. Gazgul, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I figured it was.
Yeah. I mean, Gazgul's toughness 5. He has he's basically Eternal Warrior, so he can't be instant killed. Yeah. I consolidate. I move around your Land Raider. Pretty much, and they're definitely, it's going to be like 35 attacks or something ridiculous. I will say this though, I really think you should have moved your Land Raider, away in the movement phase, and should maybe started moving it towards my looters to shoot at them and kind of get away from the Mega Nubs.
Yeah.
You kind of left it there for them.
Yeah, it was a bad decision because honestly, when I first arrived there, I didn't know you had those knobs. What are they called again?
Mega Nubs.
Those Mega Nubs in there. I thought they were just knobs. And I didn't know how many attacks they did until you went against my Terminators, and I was surprised. Wow, 40 attacks?
Yeah, they got 3 base, and they got Furious Charge, and yeah, I mean, I still think they got the Furious Charge. I'm not sure if you get that when you're in the Power Armor. Let me know, guys, in the comments. But overall, they still got 3 base attacks, so it's still been 30 attacks, coming at you.
Regardless, I was dead.
The Dreadnought starts fighting. He kills 2. Those Orc boys are clogging him up. Nobby's moving into position. And right here, I get a hit, penetrating hit. I got a 4, and you made me re-roll it, didn't you?
Yeah, because of the Venerable, I'm allowed to re-roll a penetrating hit. And I was really hoping it was going to be a 1, but then back in my mind, I'm like, no, are you kidding me? It's going to be a 6. And then, ta-da, a 6.
Yeah, he had me re-roll it, and I got a 6, which I was okay with. But in the explosion, he killed like 5 or 6 more boys. So, I mean...
Victory to the Emperor.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I still got another kill point. And this is how it's looking at the end of Black Templar turn 4. Basically, still got that drop pod there. That Land Raider's about to get wrecked. And he still got the High Marshal and 2 guys. And you got that tactical squad up in the building. But that's pretty much about it. And basically, my Orc boys, my Mega Nobs, surround the Land Raider, and I think at this point you just decided, I think it was, 1:30 in the morning at this point?
Yeah, it was about 1:30, and I had barely anything left, and I knew that you were going to destroy my Land Raider, and for some ungodly reason I actually did kill all your Nobs, which is impossible. You still got your Looters, which actually I don't think do anything to my Land Raider. But in any case, I knew that you would tear it up, so I decided just to call it.
Yeah, so basically he conceded at this point. There was really no point in dragging it out. He knew I was going to pop the Land Raider. The High Marshal was there, but he couldn't really do anything. The looters would keep shooting at him. He had that one tactical squad at the window. Yeah. So basically it was an Orc victory. So I was very excited. I'm always excited when Orcs win. I mean, it's always fun because Orcs are really, they're not like Tower, Eldar, or other Space Marine chapters that are really OP in tournaments and stuff like that. It's hard to win with Orcs, but I guess it helps when your opponent's dice hate him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this history of this battle has been expunged from the Black Templar history, and it'll be talked about again.
So propaganda. Okay, yes. They expunge it from the records, but, we'll remember. So, basically my MVP, I do MVPs with, basically my fantasy battle reports. I'm going to do them here. I would definitely say my Ludas were the most MVP, my most valuable unit. You agree?
The most OP.
They're not OP, they're 15 points base.
OP, the massively...
Are y'all hearing this propaganda? It's 15 points base, it's random. They're not... Just stay in cover.
Okay, look, if I'm getting 30 dice being rolled against a Rhino, it's going to die.
Well, yeah, if I get a 5 or 6, but I could get 10 shots, and it's not my fault you forgot to pop smoke.
That was my bad.
Yeah, it was your bad, so you owe them an apology.
No.
Okay, well, he's not going to apologize. But anyway, that was it. Orc victory against Black Templars. A little bit different than my usual battle reports. I got my best friend here. Yeah, basically I said, why don't you come and be guest speaker, kind of give his view on it. So, apologize for the silliness, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment, like, subscribe, and there will be more 40k battle reports in the future, but there's always going to be more fantasy battle reports because, I like fantasy more. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Yeah. See you guys. What do you think, Mr. Patty?